Hello everyone, I'm Kibitz, and today we're gonna try and make a 1,000,000 population city in Cities Skylines 2. Or at least see how far we can get before either my computer or the game explodes. And if we're gonna make a wildly overpopulated city, I feel like San Francisco would be perfect for that. Except we'll just rename it San Fried Cisco, because no matter what happens, either the computer, my game, or my brain is gonna get deep fried from attempting this. So jumping in here, beside all like the technical problems we're gonna have, there's also the problem of building a 1,000,000 population city. So we seriously need all the flat buildable space we can get. Okay, but apparently we have to leave some hills in because there's like some kind of like Minecraft water source block stuff going on here. But whatever, I can make this work. All we gotta do is make sure all of our roads are as perfect as possible. We can use all the space we can. And then the first thing we're actually gonna build for the city are its arteries, the main highway system, which you better believe will consist of 5-lane highways, because more lanes is always better. No, I'm kidding, relax, relax. I just want to leave all the space we can around all the highways for when things get a little crazy around here. Like for when we have to build all of our city's main interchanges, because some will be simple, but then others are gonna get a little bit more involved. But so long as you remember that every highway has to go in every which way, it'll be fine. Now it's not necessarily pretty or perfect, but it'll get the job done until the system explodes and then we have to design something else. But no, copied and pasted that practically all over the rest of the city, so we have a good old starting grid, so we can turn each of these squares into their own megalopolises themselves. We'll deal with that in a couple minutes, because now that we have the highway arteries, now we can make the road superstructure. So these are just like the main roads that will go through the entirety of the city, taking people from either the highway to like suburban areas to wherever they need to go, right? We'll have a bunch of bridges going over the highways and stuff. But bonus thing with these bridges, you may have noticed I left a lot of space between the highways. Well, that not only helps with setting up the interchanges, but now when we want to go ahead and have like entrances and exits to our city, we can attach them to these bridges here. I'll make it look a little bit nicer later on, but that's like the general idea. And then we can throw in a roundabout, and that should be decently efficient. And yeah, that's an example of a highway entrance, and then we could have another bridge somewhere else where we can build highway exits. So people can go from the highway, scoot up over here to the bridge, through a big ol' roundabout, and then to wherever else in the world they want to go. And from there, we just expand the concept across the entire region so it fills in all the space. And then with these blocks we've created, we can make little suburbs with their own little town, their own little utilities and whatnot, and their own individual grid. This is kind of how I go about city design. We go from the highway infrastructure, then to the road superstructure, and then we narrow it down to individual neighborhoods. But even with a system like this, can we handle 1,000,000 cars on the road? I don't think so. That's why the last step is tripling the amount of lanes. Let's go! What could go wrong? Everything, okay? No. Of course we're not gonna do that. We're gonna have some public transit services, but not buses. Buses are poop. But no, wait, we can't even build any public transit if we don't have any power. We should figure that out next. So gods of the wind, where should we build industrial power and stuff? Wind's going out this way, so pollution will spread from over here across the rest of the city. Probably not the best idea. Can we just go back this way? Yes. So if you pollute over here, it becomes not our problem. Sounds good to me. And for powering our city, we are going to need many power plants, but the main one, of course, will be the nuclear power, brother. The best power plant in the game, providing us with a good ol' 0 kilowatts. But once it's booted up, it'll give us 750 megawatts, and that would be pretty good. Now that we've picked an area for utilities, I guess we can throw in a bunch more around it, like some battery banks in case there's somehow a power issue. Like Mr. Kibitz would ever mismanage a nuclear power plant. That's insane. Never happened before, ever. Then we can also build other things over here, like a server farm, so people have internet. Maybe like a satellite uplink as well. Probably a bunch of mail services. Oh, and since we're so far out of the way and we have a bit of space, a really nice thing to build out here would be subway yards. Because you better believe subways are gonna be an integral part to our city's infrastructure. And each of these, if we fully upgrade it, can have how many vehicles? 15, 1-5? Yeah, no. We're gonna need a couple more of these. Like, a lot more of these. maybe 4 more of these? I'm not sure, but that at least should get things started. As for the rest of the area here, I just kept throwing in more and more utilities that we kind of need all over the place. Like police headquarters, fire stations, a little bit of medical, and then the human dumpsters. Oh, but I almost forgot the actual just dumpsters. Trash services. Yeah, there are landfills, incineration plants, recycling center, and then the industrial waste processing site. Just like a small, super overpowered ultra facility. But we only get one, so we'll have this somewhere, probably more so in like the middle of the city and closer to better highway infrastructure. For now, we'll just have incineration plants every so often, which are pretty good, and some recycling centers for that last bit of support. And then the last waste thing we have to worry about is waste water. So we're gonna have some pumping stations around to gather water, but then we have to deal with the poop and stuff. And we're gonna forget about the sewage outlets and just use wastewater treatment plants. Because at least for now, we got a lot of space that we could spare, so we can just throw a ton of these all over in this area. Heck, maybe even just upgrade them a bit so they're a little better. And after building a couple more of them, a little bit of extra garbage processing, and then setting up an area for water collection on the coast, I think it is time to start heading towards our goal of 1 million people. Like I was saying before, we'd find a block here, grid it out the wazoo, and we'll turn it into its own little mini city / neighborhood. And then we'll need some services per neighborhood, like death care and education. But then some services will be for multiple districts. Like we could have a giant hospital, and that could cover both this area and that area. And then same deal for like fire services, college, and mail as well. And with our services, we can also now figure out where our main roads are gonna be within the districts themselves. And where we have main roads, that's where we can have shopping. And then everything else will be high density housing. This is also the time where we can start bringing in our public transit. And like I was saying, we're mainly going to be using subways, but we might bring in other types of services later on. Also here, I am very scared of all of the traffic, so we're gonna go, what you could say is a little overboard on public transit. After throwing in a few extra connections here and there, a bit more shopping, and some nearby localized services, and a little bit of office space, I'd say our first little template zone is ready. Which allows me to reveal one of my other little secrets here. You see, this is all right, crash number 1, where I learned that if you play the game too much while it is paused, your save file will get corrupted and you'll lose up to 8 hours of progress. So it turns out you don't even need citizens in your city to break the game. Amazing. Oh, but don't you worry, I'll recreate literally everything again, from all the roads to all the services, right on up to the point we're at. Because I'm actually playing a modded playthrough. And yes, I checked to see if the mods actually corrupted the save. It was not the mods, it was the game being paused before you at me. Anyway, it's a very interesting mod that gives me unlimited demand. So instead of going through the whole phase of the game, making low density housing and all that jazz, instead, we are immediately going to get super massive skyscrapers out the wazoo. And as they say, you build it and they shall come. And in no time, we get a hyper-dense downtown metropolis. The first of many. Oh, and it looks like I might have been wrong about that quote earlier. It's not just, if you build it, they will come, but they also might leave directly after. Well, that's great. Might be time to get another modification. And okay, that worked kind of well. A lot of buildings continually get built and demolished constantly, but I'd say the majority of the population is staying, which is good. And we're up to our first 16,000 people. And even better, but the traffic isn't actually that bad. Just a lot of people trying to get off the highway, but that will clear up, maybe. I can look into it later once we design more city blocks here. Right now, I actually want to go and do something a little bit different. And I want to build this block that's kind of central on this hill. Because in this game, there's a bunch of super buildings, or what do they call them? Signature buildings, that add like a variety of bonuses to the city. Like 6% well-being within 1.5 kilometers. or 1% office efficiency citywide. Like, really, really, really powerful effects. I built a couple of those buildings inside of this district, just like some little houses or something. There we go, there's one of them, the Rock Musician Mansion. But for most of the citywide ones, I want to build them more so in the center. That also includes our government buildings, like our City Hall, our weird sandcastle looking thing that we have to upgrade with a hat. And I'm hoping all of these good status effects will encourage citizens to actually stay in the city and stop abandoning it every so often. Besides City Hall, there's a central bank, my favorite building in the game. Like, look at that beauty. And there's a variety of fancy towers here and there that we can throw down. Look at this one. It's hideous, but plus 2% office efficiency. Okay, not bad. Stylish tower. Man, if this looks bad, I'm gonna be so upset. Ooh, okay, nope, they nailed it there. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh wait, what the heck? The building changed color. It was blue before, right? Am I crazy? Is it because it got like rented out? Oh, it did get rented out by like a software company. Oh, and then it changed its color. That's okay, that's pretty cool actually. Well, anyway though, there's still a bunch of other buildings we need to make. Like there's this medical university thing, and I'm pretty sure this has additions. Oh, you better believe it, bud. Lots of additions. Then we got the CIB, i.e. our spy agency people, to make sure everyone is behaving well. A massive local monument. Oh, and my second favorite building in the game, this disease control center. Oh, yeah, bud. And then besides that, just the usual shenanigans like mail services, fire depots, ooh, and a lot of death care buildings, especially by our CIA headquarters for obvious reasons. But oh yeah, if you're wondering why there's just like random squares of water every so often, well, I tried to get rid of some lakes and they decided they didn't want to. So now there's just permanent water features all over the place. Just that fun, quirky gameplay stuff. Anyway, everything else, high rises, forever. So move on in, people, and enjoy your swim. What a beautiful city with all the happiest people ever. Where's our town hall again? Ah, yes, there. Enjoy the view, Mr. or Mrs. Mayor. But now the real game begins. We're at 20,000 population, and that number's only going up. Now we have to wait and see when the game kind of starts to collapse, as we fill in block by block. And also, is it about that time to deal with traffic? Well, traffic percentage is really good, which is shocking. So I guess we don't worry about the traffic and we just keep populating the city until the game explodes. So we'll just go and pick a block, maybe a couple blocks up this way. Grid her up, bud, with all the lanes we can give it. And all the classic services like schools and police and fire and stuff. And with every little template, we then connect it to the superstructure of our city, i.e. these bigger blocks down this way. And those bigger blocks connect up to the highway and to all of the other cities, and we just keep doing this forever. And then don't forget the residential. 100 million buildings of residential, just like the rest of our very wonderful and good-looking city, where there are never any problems. Oh, okay, we're getting a couple. Some education problems, no biggie. What do you need? More workers? That problem should be solved soon. You need smart people? How's our education front looking? Fine for now, so stop whining. And then anything else going on? Oh, traffic. Oh my gosh, we actually have traffic? That's not bad at all. Okay, it's still moving, it's still grooving. Okay, it's okay, maybe there's a little bit of not enough moving and grooving. And then problems over here? No, the highway's just at capacity. We'll just let the people move and problem solved. So nothing's broken, everything's fine, and our population is on the climb. And we're at 87,000 people already, almost a tenth of the way there, hooray! And the city's expanding nicely, and it's all looking good. Scratch that, it was looking good. So crash number 2, but I was able to reload the game, so we're good for now, and I just have to diagnose the problem. I have no idea what it could be though. We have a couple like little traffic jams here and there, but it's nothing that I'd imagine would crash the game. It's not like we have too many people, it's just 87,000. Oh, wait a second. I think I know what's going on. You see that flash there? The buildings are being abandoned and replaced super quickly because of that one mod we got. And I bet that's why we crashed. Just too many buildings got replaced at once and the game was like, what? But we could probably fix that if we fulfilled some of the other zoning demands. For example, if we built a slum block. Because it wouldn't be an ImKibitz video if we didn't add in some dystopian elements, right? So maybe this will help with like the background calculations for the game. I have no idea. We'll try it out. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work. I get to maybe fix the game and force people into a giant slumland. So win-win either way. And I think the plan worked actually. We're up to 118,000 people and the game hasn't crashed in a little while now. Traffic is, okay. Traffic is absolutely terrible at this point. It can't really be ignored, unfortunately. Oh my gosh. So you know what we have to do? The one great solution that fixes all problems. More lanes. Wait, we already have 8 lanes there? Oh my gosh. My North American School of Traffic Fixing has not prepared me for this. Wait! Maybe we can divert some of this traffic to go somewhere else. Oh, I was gonna say over to here, but we already do that. What about another change of plans? Is this a problem? Nah, that's fine. Let's cut a highway to here. Yeah, that looks good. Elementary school. Goodbye. So long, children. Highway time. And let's just plug a cool 5 lanes into that. Perfect. Look, all the people are like so happy. They're going into the city. It was the perfect play. Let's get rid of the traffic lights. It's not like there's schools around here anymore. Throw a couple one-way roads around. Heck, maybe we make this road just a one-way. Sure. And I guess, yes, okay, fine. And I'll build like, psych, you thought I was gonna build a roundabout? I don't think so. No, this is working great. Problem solved. Which means back to our main objective. More city blocks, more residential, and more lanes. And everything's looking good. Population at 167,000. Number go up. Traffic problems be solved, pretty much. Yeah, completely actually, just had to change some things around, no problem. Have a couple, you know, devastating car accidents. Can't park there, sir. And some of the rest of the traffic is just taking a little bit of time to clear out, but I'm sure it will. It'll be just less pedestrians walking, thank you very much. Oh, and maybe I should add in some public transit at this point. Or maybe once we reach a certain population, cars will stop spawning in, and we won't have to worry about traffic at all. Yeah, I like that idea. Besides, we're already running into different problems. Lack of power? Not enough electricity? Sir, we have a nuclear power plant. How do we not have enough electricity? Wait, what's that symbol? I have never seen that symbol ever. Electricity bottleneck, not enough transfer? What? So wait, we have enough power? We just need more power lines? Oh, because each of these can only hold 400 megawatts. Oh, that's a cool problem. Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down. How do we fix that? What if we brought this forward, bring it over this way, and we just make our way over to where there's no electricity? Look up to here, and the problem is all good? I don't think they're happy. Oh, maybe we need a transformer? Boom, power's transformed. Everyone's super happy now. Yes. Oh no, it made it, what? How does it make it worse? Maybe a couple more transformers as well. Well, looks like it. Problems solved. Power grid, super happy. Shame the traffic has still not fixed itself, but you know what? We wouldn't have a problem here if we could just fit one more lane, bro. Just one more lane, then traffic would be solved. But too bad, now it's time for more people. Because we've only just hit 200,000 and we still have 800,000 more to go. Wow! My computer is doomed. But as time moves on, more blocks fill in and we're at 246,000 people now. Things are looking really good. Weird little areas are getting filled in. I'm adding in all the attractions I can. And I started adding in just parks, just so people don't flee the city in terror once they get here. It's kind of like the same thing we're doing with the poor neighborhood here or whatever. People gotta be a little happy, or they kind of look at their surroundings, freak out, and leave. But still, so far, so good. Haven't had any crashes in a while. And after adding a lot more residential space, we should be in the clear, or at least 500,000 people. But I can definitely start to feel the game chugging a bit. Looking at our city statistics here, looks like everything is still on track. But I have noticed just in the game that either just the game is slowing down or the mod is breaking or something, but we just zoned this whole area to be residential, right? But only a handful of towers have actually loaded in? And what's up with that? Well, I'm pretty sure it's like a demand mod thing. Like, we have infinite demand, but people just don't want to come to the city anymore. So I'm gonna go with the solution that's worked for us before. Giving the people what they want. Give them parks, give them different zoning availability. And maybe that will help them out? Ooh, wait. Giving people what they want. You know what everybody wants? That's right. To subscribe to ImKibitz. And also people want trains. Trains go true. And once we have some trains set up, we can set up some subways and there'll be public transit out the wazoo because, oh my gosh, the traffic is abhorrent. I added in the more lanes, but clearly that doesn't matter. Okay, yeah. We need public transit to bring people into the city, to get them around, all that kind of jazz. And now, are you ready for this? It's gonna shock you. Shock and awe you. The train station. Check this out. It fits perfectly. Right between the main road and the highway. Oh, it's like Mr. Gibbs had planned this out since the beginning. I'll just run around the city, adding these in just wherever I see fit for now. Maybe I'll change it up a little bit in the future, or maybe it'll just be fine. Oh my gosh, and yeah, speaking of public transit, look at all the taxis. Did you see that? It's like Taxi-mageddon. But soon the beeps turn into true, and all will be better. So over by the nuclear power plant, I've added in some rail yards to send some trains out. Even added in a cargo train terminal, because that would probably help out, I guess. And I couldn't believe it, but we needed more power. So now we got that delicious coal energy. And people are gonna be so happy with the new train system that they'll forgive me if there's a little bit of toxic smoke in the air. Yeah. Train system wise, we're all good. It's moving, it's grooving, and hopefully numbers will start to go up a little bit faster. We're at 275,000 population. These towers have been like popping in and disappearing, and hopefully if I give it a boop, things will be much better. Actually, this boop is gonna be a little bit different. I'm gonna leave my game running overnight because the simulation speed is this. No matter, the boop will fix all. Oh my gosh, and it actually did. The buildings are actually coming in now. Let's go, bud. 314,000 people. But 30,000 extra population after 8 hours isn't good either. And game, survive, I beg of you. With the success of the train stations though, I bet we can get more population faster if we provided more public transit. So now, very, 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 very slowly, our subways are gonna move out across the city. Now we got subway tracks going just practically everywhere through downtown cores, crisscrossing from like this side of the city to the other side of the city, all kind of focused around train stations. Oh, and most importantly, they can take the subway over to the airport. Like, if we're gonna have 1 million people, an airport's gonna be really handy. But not just a simple airport, no. This airport, its only job is to get people from this side of the city all the way to the other side of the city, where I've built an international airport. And this is what gets people moving and grooving, bud. Because cars only move every other frame. But also because the simulation speed is so bad that even if I make a fix, it causes another problem and I only see that like 3 hours later and it's a whole thing. Ooh, wait a second. Maybe we can change things up then? Performance preference, simulation, graphics. You ready for potato? How do we look now? What is this, SimCity 2000? Oh my gosh. It's so bad. Oh my, it is SimCity 2000. It's terrible. Okay, we've filled in all of these areas. This just needs to grid in, and then eventually my computer will die or we'll have another 700,000 citizens. And a couple of days later, the game runs. And yes, 529,000 people. That is the biggest city I have ever made in Cities Skylines 2. Why do you have noise complaints though, sir? But actually, why are there noise complaints? Noise pollution? There's no cars around you. Why would there be noise pollution? They're the ghosts. The ghosts are screaming into the NPC's ears. Don't worry, I'll replace you with an office. It's all good. No more ghosts to cause you angst. Then at the halfway mark here, any other problems? Power, looking good. Water, looking great. Garbino, actually fine. What about public transit? 400,000 people per month using public transit? Oh, that is quite impressive. I'm quite proud of myself. Good job, Kibs. Thanks, Kibs. And even all this is zoned in too. Okay, things are looking good. Let me know in the comments below if you think we got this or not. Because a few nights later, we're at 672,000 population. And at this point, the game is just not loading in more places at all. It's just given up. Pretty much the numbers just keep going up. A lot of these buildings seem to be like half abandoned or fully abandoned, and they're just kind of filling up with people, and that's what's going on. So this is kind of good then, because technically speaking, I think we have built a 1 million population city. It's just, can the game survive for us to get to that number? Oh, Cities Skylines 2, you're getting my hopes up. I have dreams now. The game is really choppy, even with like potato graphics, but it's still running. Population still going up. It's not even any traffic anymore, which is kind of the most concerning. I think the game just can't load in more cars at this point, so it's just like, okay, done, GG, no more traffic. Yeah, I actually did not realize how choppy the game would get. This is abhorrent. I don't know if it'll make it through the next night. And it didn't make it through the next night. Oh, but I was able to reload. We're back. 970? We got this, one more night. Just if I'm having the game running, I'm looking into the grass over here, so maybe the game runs a little better. And if all goes well, over the next 8 hours, we'll have hit 1 million population in Cities Skylines 2. Oh my gosh, it's over. My computer was very, very much so coming close to exploding. It is overheating out the wazoo, and wait, game? Are we running? Barely. It's still alive. Yep. Computer survived. The game survived. And I gotta be honest, I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. I would have bet money that this game would have completely collapsed around the 600,000 population mark. And you know, to be fair, it kind of did a couple of times. And we ran into some goofy bugs. But at the end of the day, we made it. And fun little stats check just before we close out here. Oh, that's really weird. Our total number of people using public transport just stayed at 400,000. That's interesting. Education, practically everybody is university educated. 42.7% of the population. And last but not least, traffic. Is that what looks like a cool 58% traffic flow? I guess some roads are just really busy, eh? Who knows, don't care. Let's try setting the graphics to medium so we can take one last look at the 1 million population city. And quick thanks to everyone who supports this madness over on Patreon, because I have a lot of melted computer parts that I'm gonna have to replace. And in case you wanna melt your own computer for whatever reason, I'll post the completed city on Patreon as well, along with a template for it too. Anyway though, that is gonna be all for now. So if you enjoyed, remember to subscribe for more. And until next time, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and bye-bye.